All right. So the Act Man is back. And let me tell you something. I have been waiting on this review. Okay. Call of Duty. Why Call of Duty Black Ops 6? So mediocre, and awesome. Okay. Now, if you guys are wondering, I'm starting this video in the mid because he pretty much spends half this video talking about the zombies, and I'm not a big zombies person. I'm just telling how it is. I'm not a big zombies person, so I'm not gonna watch something that I don't. I'm not gonna watch something that he talks about. Something I don't play or don't have interest in playing, or a mode that I don't have interest in playing. So um, yeah. But I do want to hear what he has to say about multiplayer and campaign because I love watching his gaming reviews. I've been watching him since middle school. The guy is hilarious. Okay. And thing is, when I was watching him in middle school, that's when he was making the Halo videos heavily, and that's when his channel, started to blow up. And he was talking, man, he was trashing on Halo 5 and Halo 4 a little bit. Oh, not a little bit, halfway, but it was a Halo 4 was a strong start for 343 Industries, and after that it just whole nother video in itself. But he's a Halo fanatic. He knows his Halo. I agree with most of the stuff he says about Halo. If it weren't for Halo, I wouldn't be playing Call of Duty. I wouldn't be playing Gears of War or any shooting game. Okay. I love watching his reviews. The dude is hilarious. He is hilarious. Okay. And I love the way how he edits his videos. The clips that he puts in there to put a cherry on top to his humor. I need to know what software he use. I need to know what he's using because it's very inspiring because I want to use that same exact style, because it's great. It is because he do got a talent. He does. So, like I said, I'm starting this in the midpoint. So, yeah, let's go right ahead and get right on into it.
And personality that the older games had, it's not dreadfully boring either. It's not, where did you find these fighters, Marcus? We don't have that anymore, thank God. Now, what's the verdict on multiplayer? Well, ladies and gentlemen, Treyarch wasn't lying when they promised to include.
So we're back to our classic 3-lane maps.
Because that's all we had. And you know how I feel about that?
Give me something for the pain and let me die.
Multiplayer
Wow.
is decent, but quite disappointing. Especially coming off last year and with an extra year of development. I expected the best from Black Ops 6. But you know what wasn't a letdown? The COD community. I put this on invite only, and Five Nights with Diddy just joined. Oh, I'm playing with Jefferson Epstein. Another person in the lobby is just named Shrek 2 on Blu-ray. What, dude? The Call of Duty community is going off with these names. This is
Yeah, the names that I be seeing on the lobby that these players be having, these gamers be having, I'd be like, how is Call of Duty not banning them? Well, removing their name, or not forcing them. Well, how is Call of Duty or Activision not forcing them to change their name? Because one, it's inappropriate. That's way it's hilarious, but at the same time, it's not. You know what I'm saying? Because kids play the game too, and they're gonna be like, what's R. Kelly, or what's Diddy, or what's Bill Cosby, or what's Epstein, or come on now. And the chat banning. Oh my God, the chat banning in this game. I hope he talks about the chat banning.
insane. Ever since they took away the custom emblem editor that we'll never get back, the
Really?
has found new ways to express themselves creatively. Spooge Gobbler.
They had a thing where you can edit or make your own emblem. Huh. I would love to make that, you know. All right.
emblem editor that we'll never get back. The fan base has found new ways to express themselves creatively. Spooge Gobbler messaged me saying, I love you from Spooge Gobbler.
From fucking Spooge Goblin. Thank God.
This game isn't even real.
Well, it's your boy Spooge Goblin.
Unironically, one of my favorite returning features from Black Ops 3 is the winner's circle, where you can epically own and dab on the haters. The stupidest fucking emotes you could think of, we got them.
I hope they do add that emblem. I hope they do add that emote, not an emblem. I hope they do add that. Bro. The emotes they can add. I'm getting emblems and emotes mixed up. They both start with an E.
Yeah. How can I be mad when they have the Olympic breakdancer emote? Like, anyways, Black Ops 6 on paper.
You know what would be funny if they have the Donald Trump dancing emote? That would be funny. Hey, add that emote, please.
Is the ideal COD multiplayer. It's almost everything the community has been asking for, as long as you haven't been asking them to address skill-based matchmaking. Black Ops 6 combines innovative new mechanics with the tried and true proven classics. And surprisingly, everything has worked great for me. Like no game-breaking bugs or glitches, so why aren't I more enthusiastic about it? You know what it is? It's because I'm a goddamn parrot, Mason, and I say the same thing every year. Call of Duty doesn't have enough unique game modes. Make more of them. Make them fun. New. Fellas, I've been around the block a few times, so if you want to really get my attention, you gotta give me an X factor, an experience I can't get in an older Call of Duty, something to make it stand out. This year's multiplayer is so standard. They don't have ground war, and I'm not much of a Warzone guy, so it seems like I'm getting less content than I have before.
I'm not really big fan on ground war, to be honest with you. Ground war, the most I played ground war when it was first introduced in MW 2019. I believe that's when it was first introduced. But I barely played that. Well, I played that every now and then, but then I stopped. And when Warzone first came in, that's when I stopped playing it, you know. But yeah, I'm not really a big fan of ground war though, you know.
Although, it could just be I'm a little bitch and I'm being needy. The reason I enjoyed Modern Warfare 2 so much is because of ground war. It was the perfect alternative when I ever got tired of the standard 6v6. Lord knows Battlefield hasn't been piquing my interest at all, and the last Battlefront game came out 7 years ago. So there is this vacuum of large-scale warfare games that I crave. 64 players, big-ass maps, vehicles, turrets, airplanes, all this shit. You know, even the war mode in COD World War II was a nice change of pace.
The enemy is building a bridge. Stop the enemy from building that bridge.
Yippee!
COD World War II, that war mode, that was the only thing I played on COD World War II was that war mode. That war mode was off the chain. Okay? That war mode was great. All right. And then when they brought it back last year, it wasn't the same. It literally wasn't the same. But Sledgehammer, let me tell you something about Sledgehammer, man. I think I should talk to this about that. I think I should talk about this at the end of the video because Activision have done Sledgehammer wrong so many times. It's just mind-boggling to me why Sledgehammer hasn't left Activision. You know, I'll talk about it at the end of the video.
Hardpoint, domination, team deathmatch. How exciting. I've been a good boy this year. I sure hope Santa lets me play Kill Confirmed. Look, I'm just at that point where the standardized Call of Duty status quo, like, I need more than that. Now, there are some new modes like HVT, which is basically VIP from Halo. There's also Prop Hunt. some gunfight, face-off. I think I've had the most fun with Ransack. Basically, there's a pot of gold that spawns in different locations around each map, and then you got to fight a bunch of leprechauns. And well,
Leprechaun.
to your spawn, but if you die,
He
you
said
drop the gold.
leprechauns.
So it's kind of like Headhunter and Halo Reach. But you can also infiltrate
Yeah.
your opponent's base and steal their gold. You can steal the enemy's points. I want more modes like this where I can actually describe what's unique and creative about it. Instead, the new innovation is
Yeah, create more modes. Activision, Call of Duty, or Treyarch, create more modes where you can take the enemy's points. Like say like they can be way up, they're about to win, and our team is way down. If we can find a way to take their points and it'll just and we win, oh, it'll be the funniest thing ever. It'll be the funniest thing ever. That chat will be so hilarious. Do it.
like this fucking bullshit map, Stakeout. What is this? You made a map smaller and stupider than Nuketown. How did you accomplish this? It's great for grinding, and I am kind of embracing my dumbass arc. But this map kind of signifies a deeper problem for me. A harsh reality we may have to contend with. Get your chain swords ready, because I'm about to spit some heresy.
Okay, hold up. Before he goes in, because I'm about to start laughing, because when he goes in, it's hilarious. But I like Stakeout, okay? Stakeout is the map where boys turn to men, girls turn to women, cubs turn to lions, puppies turn to dogs, kittens turns to cats, okay? You get a good shotgun or an assault rifle on that map, you be going crazy, all right? Because one time I was going in on that map. I've been going in, and them dang PC players, or them hackers, I would say, trying to invite me to their clan. Hey, you want to join our clan? No, I'm good playing by myself. I'm good. I'm good grinding on guns by myself. I'm good.
That maybe Nuketown was a net negative for the Call of Duty franchise. I'm just saying, okay? It's been 14 years, man, that we're still playing on that fucking map. Something about that quick combat has like tapped into the TikTok attention span deficit brain rot of our generation. And I think they just keep making maps smaller and smaller, simpler and simpler. It just seems like modern Call of Duty map design is based around one idea. Don't let players go more than 10 seconds without finding an enemy to shoot.
Well, that map that he just showed, Skyline. Okay, he I'm pretty sure he's gonna talk about the most of the map. He's already on the map. I'm just gonna let him talk.
I think maps are much more compelling when they're designed around specific modes or fulfilling some kind of fantasy.
Headphones about to fall
None of
off.
the maps in Black Ops 6 reflect the settings in the campaign, or at least they were so bland I didn't recognize them. I call this desert map Shitbox Creek. I just feel like I keep getting killed in the same fucking spot. Now let's talk about movement.
Okay, now that map that he's talking about that just went by, Babylon, that's what it's called. Babylon, I don't know, something like that. That map, he's right. It can get pretty sweaty. It can. But once you get a good groove on that map and you know how to work them crevices, oh, ho, ho, ho. Oh, ho, ho. Oh, ho, ho. Yeah. You feel like you that dude.
This is always a controversial point of discussion for the COD fan base, and have not seen many arguments. Despite it being borderline impossible to balance movement properly for all play styles, the speed of this game feels kind of cranked like Vanguard. And while it's fluid and fast, I think this also exacerbates the issues with the maps. When you design COD around instant action and instant gratification, you lose a lot of those tactical elements and opportunities for players to use the unique tools to strategize. Black Ops 6 has a ton of cool tactical and lethal equipment, and I just kind of use the same shit I've always had because these are the same maps we've had. The game doesn't really encourage unique playstyles. It's just same old, same old. Most matches I'm not even thinking strategically. I just run around, like a chicken with its head cut off. And I enjoy that, but I also enjoy something a little more complex. But how does Omni movement pan out?
Okay, before he talks about Omni movement, his lobbies are most likely different than mine, because the lobbies I play in, they use their equipment a lot. When I say a lot, I mean a lot. They throw stuns, flashes. Like, the flash in this game be hurting my eyes for real. And I'm like, I know what y'all thinking. Oh, turn your brightness on your TV down. It's not just me. Almost everybody who plays this game, they said the flash is too bright. It be stunning. It be hurting their eyes for real. Like,
should answer your question.
I'm gonna crank up my DPI all the way to the max. Watch this shit.
Yeah, let's do
All right,
this.
3, 2.
Oh my God. Wait, do that again. Omni movement is a fat W, a big W.
It
This
is.
was the big statue on display, the game changer, the X factor. It was the thing I was looking forward to most. I'm surprised people aren't abusing this mechanic as much as I thought they would. Or maybe they haven't found ways to totally break the game yet. Or maybe Treyarch has done a great job of balancing it this year.
They haven't found ways to break it yet. Okay. Because here's the thing is about Omni movement. Omni movement puts console players not so much of a disadvantage against PC players. Like, for example, before this game came out, you know, when you're on Warzone and the movement on MW3, the last year's one, if you're on Warzone or pretty much on multiplayer or whatever, if you're a console player going up against a PC player, they be moving like the PC players be moving like a Tasmanian devil, okay? And the console players, you can only do so much with this, okay? Unless you turn your sensitivity on super high, you know what I'm saying? But Omni movement is a huge fat W, because those PC players, I'm preferably talking about the hackers, they haven't found ways to break this game yet, okay? And I pray that they don't, okay? Because it seems like Treyarch is on their stuff. It seems like they're on their stuff this year. It seems like Call of Duty Activision is on their stuff this year, okay? Like, they're constantly pumping out updates every day. Like, Ink Slasher said, they're pumping out updates every day, like 2 to 3 times a day. You know what I'm saying? Trying to make the game better. All right. So, yeah.
They've really gone all in refining the gameplay. Now you can sprint and look in 2 different directions, so you can quickly reposition without having to take your eyes off of a target. Automatic leaning into cover is a feature that has never screwed me over. If you're sitting by cover, you might as well lean into it, right? So it's nice that it's not a button prompt, but you can still mount your weapon for enhanced accuracy. I do find the whole move like an action hero mantra kind of hilarious. It's not as prevalent in multiplayer, but you still can pull off some pretty crazy moves. Like this guy who killed me while sliding backwards. When you do hit the perfect dolphin dive and manage to score a kill off of it, you feel like a champion. You earned that spot in the winner's circle, bud. It's not often I encounter people who fly out from cover, dive onto the ground, and kill me. So when that does happen, I say, you know what? Respect.
Okay,
Yeah.
this guy actually did the dolphin dive for the double kill. Wow, okay.
The Black Ops 6 multiplayer at its core is serviceable, but the maps and modes don't really accommodate the new innovations that were made to the core gameplay. Like I said, they've really refined the formula. Treyarch has gone out of their way to allow you to customize the user interface to your heart's content.
I get what he's saying. I totally get what he's saying. Yeah, the Omni movement. Yeah, if you're going to bring out a whole entirely new movement to the game, and it is a big W, make the game modes new. You know, like totally new to something we have never seen or had before. You know, like he said, ransacked, great. You know, and he said a bunch of leprechauns. He said leprechauns. And that's literally what they are. And all right, Now the new game mode, he hasn't talked about this game mode, Kill Order. I want to know how he feels about Kill Order. Kill Order is actually not that bad, but I think they need to ramp it up, in my opinion, a little bit. But yeah.
You can change everything from the size and shape of the mini-map where ammo counters appear on screen. Now, every year, we all like to complain about how the cosmetics and skins in Call of Duty are getting dumb and dumberer. Then I think about that time they sold bacon skins for $2 in Black Ops 2. There's always been dumb cosmetics, but at least they were priced right. And those were universal skins, to my knowledge, for all the weapons. Of course, there's the usual bullshit in the store where they're selling like 800 different cosmetics at once for like $25 each. They figured out their business model. That being said, new controversy just dropped. Apparently, Activision has started using AI-generated art for in-game rewards. With the latest update, they have this zombie with 6 fingers. And now it's got me wondering, okay, if this is AI generated, what else is in the game? Oh, look, voice actors for zombies are being replaced because they don't have protections for AI generated content that uses their voice? Look at me, I'm Activision. Let's create something great and then fucking ruin it. Out of all the greedy shit Activision has pulled, AI generated rewards and cosmetics is pretty high up there. The customization ties in quite nicely with classic prestige. Yes, isn't it beautiful?
That's the thing about AI generated stuff. You know, thing is, it's like you gotta copyright your voice now, or you gotta, if you have a product, rather, if you have any type of product and it has something to do with you, you know, with your face or your, you know, face, book, or voice or anything, I don't know how to say it. You pretty much got to copyright everything, you know, because AI generated, like it's pretty much taking other people's stuff without their permission, using other people's biometrics, what they were born with, without their consent. You get what I'm saying? But I can go well deep into that, but that's a whole nother video.
Full and great. You didn't ever need to change. So why did you? What's really cool this year is each prestige rank represents a different Treyarch Call of Duty game. First 2 prestiges are World at War themed. The next 2 Black Ops 1. This is a great way to pay homage to the classics. And it makes Black Ops 6 feel like a celebration of the series. It makes me happy that I can unlock a loading screen and see the streets I grew up on. This game also added something called Kill Orders, a short list of challenges that the entire player base can contribute to unlocking for everyone. If that sounds familiar, it's because they took notes from Helldivers 2. I hope Black Ops 6 isn't the last game to see the power of community-driven rewards and events. Treyarch has done one heck of a job fleshing out this game's quality of life features. But although they had 4 years to work on Black Ops 6, it seems like most of their efforts went into polish and refinement rather than creative innovation in this very, very long-running franchise. I get that it's difficult to come up with new, exciting experiences that are going to cater to the core fan base. Well, what can I say?
Yeah, because it's been out for a really, really long time, and it's hard to create something new, and you know, and it's been out for it's been out for a long time and stuff like that, and it's hard to create 16 plus new things, something brand new, you know. But let me tell you something. But it's hard, but the creativity is never going away. The creativity ain't going nowhere, you know. You just got to find and hire the right people to put their creativeness in. Just got to find and hire the right people for their creative juices. No, just to create what you want, or just to create what the fans want, or what the fans wants to see something new, you know, just to give them a fresh feed. You get what I'm saying? So
I love Ground War. Omni movement is a welcome addition to COD's formula and can make for some pretty memorable moments. But the map design and game modes, I've seen it, I've done it. I'm going to zombies. Black Ops 6 takes place in
Got
the
you.
early 90s against the backdrop of the collapsing Soviet Union, the fall of the Berlin Wall, and the start of the Gulf War. This era was known by many historians as the Happy Years. So in true
The
Black Ops
campaign.
form, this is the perfect setting for Call of Duty to inject some of its classic CIA.
The happy years, the 90s. They said the 90s were the golden age. Oh, let me see for a sec. The happy years. What is he talking about?
Black Ops 6 takes place in the early 90s against the backdrop of the collapsing Soviet Union, the fall of the Berlin Wall, and the start of the Gulf War. This era was known by many historians as the Happy Years.
Yep, like that whole decade, that 90s decade. Yeah, the the happy years. That decade, they call the 90s decade the golden age. They call it, some people call it the golden age, because the 90s, it was just chef's kiss, you know? Hey, they said the 80s were good too, but they said 90s is what really elevated it, you know?
So in true Black Ops form, this is the perfect setting for Call of Duty to inject some of its classic CIA shenanigans. What is it this time? Gas? Mind control? Drones? Trains? Missiles? This time, the CIA is being attacked from within, and your character, Case, might be some kind of sleeper agent. It sounds familiar. BO6 makes a concentrated effort to be a direct sequel to both Cold War and Black Ops 2. Since those are two of my favorite stories in the Call of Duty franchise, this is a match made in heaven for me. The perfect continuation of the Black Ops storyline. Or so it seemed. Was Black Ops 6 too good
Oh
to be
no.
true? The answer is yes. The trailers and opening scenes show clips of George H.W. Bush, the exalted Rabbi Bill Clinton.
Your whole life is a lie.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
And a Call of Duty fan favorite, Saddam Hussein. His portrayal led to the game
Why did he add that clip in here? Oh, he fried for that. He just can't.
being banned in one of the countries it's set in, Kuwait. Now, to me, that's a sign of having
balls of steel.
We don't care if this game gets banned. We're going to spin whatever yarn we want. I respect that. However, none of these historical figures have much relevance to the plot. They're kind of used as props. They made such a big deal about building on history, and then they didn't.
In true signature Black Ops fashion, our story builds on real history.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Is this Call of Duty? They just got a fucking... They've just put zombies in the campaign. I just...
Yeah, they said that mission in general, everybody hates that mission in Black Ops 6. Everybody hates that mission. This is the most hated mission in Black Ops 6 in the campaign. The most hated mission. Everything else everybody liked. But this mission right here, everybody hated it. I thought it was unique, but hey, I thought it was unique. It was cool. It was different. It was different. But should they add it again? No.
So strange that they would do this, but you know what? I'm here for it.
And it's all set against the backdrop of the early 90s.
What?
Like the rest of
What the fuck? Yeah, it's cool there's a mission in Saddam's palace, but guess what? They didn't even include an Easter egg where you find his hiding place. Rookie mistake.
To be fair, it is really cool going through his palace and finding his hoards of gold, because he actually did this. But Saddam's palace is the exception to the rule.
In the third mission, Most Wanted, you actually go to a political event for Bill Clinton that takes place in Washington, D.C. And the game is like, so here's this made-up senator that doesn't exist. And I'm like, no. I'm actually more interested in that Bill Clinton guy. There's not even a cutscene of him speaking at the event. Like, why not tie him into the plot somehow? Is it because he's still alive? I think Black Ops 6 really dropped the ball on this angle of political intrigue, as the narrative takes a hard right later on into some batshit territory. I mean, it's why they call it Black Ops and not mindfuck zombies in a frozen forest ops. I said it before and I'll say it again. Whenever this series...
Well, here's the thing. Everything today is more politically driven. So I think Activision, I think this was one of the reasons why Activision or Treyarch didn't really want to risk too much on the political stuff and on Bill Clinton and all the other stuff, and you know. But hey, that's just my thought. That's just my thought.
Has that element of real history woven in with its fictional elements. That is when Call of Duty is at its peak.
Like I'm making kill my own president. Right? Get the fuck out of here.
It's super frustrating, right? You go to DC and it's not even mentioned what building this political rally takes place in. When you create missions that are built around real people and real historical events, it's much easier to get those moments to stick with the player because they probably know who Fidel Castro and JFK are. What I love about the Black Ops stories is they're what ifs. This guy Perseus doesn't exist, but what if he did? What if somebody else had shot JFK? What if it was you? Those are the kinds of mind-bending questions the series is known for. In Black Ops 6, however, it's, what if this game was set during the Gulf War, and then a bunch of random made-up shit happened? Even having just a single scene with Ronald Reagan commanding your team of CIA operatives, that adds weight to the story.
It
The point
does.
is, he wasn't dreamt up in a Raven Software writing room. But much of Black Ops 6 story is, and so it feels detached from the history that it seems to be basing itself on. They abandon realism in favor of this fictional paramilitary group called Pantheon, who's like part of the CIA or a different branch of the CIA. A group whose intentions and motivations are kept extremely vague, or at least they fall on the shoulders of one person. So the events of Black Ops 6 end up being completely detached from the figures and setting of the 90s, making our actions as the player feel far less important and personal than they have in the past, leaving us with a half-baked narrative that doesn't satisfy as a fan of Cold War or BO2. They do introduce some new faces who make up the main cast, including you, Case, the player. At the start, this guy Livingston is in charge of you, and he's busting you and your team's balls. So he's like, tell me about that mission that went horribly wrong, and you say, sure thing. So there I was, in the Middle East.
And all of a sudden,
Oh, whoa, there he is! Whoa! What is he doing? So
Dude did come out of nowhere and said, yeah, let me pop his cap right quick. Peel his motherfucking skull cap back blue.
trusted you.
I thought I could too.
He's got the red name. He's a bad guy now.
Hey, Jane, you want to tape his mouth shut for me?
No, don't. You can't tape that glorious thing. The thing I love about Victor is not just the amazing haircut, but how he oozes coolness and mistrust. However, after the first few missions, Adler's significance in the plot is like severely toned down.
Yeah, like you barely get any. Adler doesn't barely get any screen time. Like in Black Ops 6, no, not Black Ops 6. Black Ops Cold War. There's so many of them. Black Ops Cold War. Adler was like one of the main characters in that campaign, and he was one of the well-known favorites. And then in the sequel to that, and you're gonna call it Black Ops 6, you bring back that returning character. It's a continuation from Black Ops Cold War, and you bring back a returning character, a fan favorite character, but then you won't give them that much screen time. You don't give, just that not really giving the fans entirely what they want. You feel what I'm saying? That's like saying you go to a Transformers movie, right? What do you go for a Transformers movie to see? You go there to see robots fighting each other. That's really what you're paying your money to see, right? You want to see the Autobots versus Decepticons. You want to see Optimus versus Megatron. You want to see Bumblebee versus Barricade, okay? And then, say that movie, you got everything you wanted, right? Transformers 1, for example. You got what you asked for. A Transformers movie with no humans and all Transformers, right? And it was great, okay? And then The next movie, for example, I know they won't do this. Well, I hope they don't. And then the next movie, they'll bring back Transformer. They'll bring back the returning characters, but the Transformers, their screen time dwindles and they bring in a whole new race out of nowhere, having them be the main characters. But even though the movie is titled Transformers, is about them, but the new race and some new other alien race or any other race got more screen time than the actual Transformers. You get what I'm saying? And people come to the movie to see Transformers. That's basically, you get what I'm saying? So, like, you go to a Transformers movie to see Optimus Prime, okay? And the previous one, he got tons of screen time. He's a fan favorite character. And the next one, he's only in the movie for like 10 minutes, basically.
But since he killed our target, well, there's some questions that need answering.
The CIA is compromised. But it's not me. I'm just the fall guy. I got a message for Woods.
Oh, yeah?
Tell him Bishop takes Rook.
Rook, like the chess piece.
So for now, it seems like Russell Adler has gone rampant. But instead of taking him down, boys, we're going to rescue him. Because Adler is considered compromised, our gang gets suspended from service. Meaning our operations are going to be even more covert because we have to hide them from the CIA.
So why was he trying to tell you something in Kuwait? Bishop takes Rook.
Rook, like the chess piece.
Shut the fuck up. Adler's code crate sends us to the hub area of Black Ops 6, the safe house. And I'm happy to see this feature return from Cold War. It's an area where you can walk around, talk to people, upgrade your equipment. Adler left some secrets behind in this safe house, so...
Now, this was a feature in Black Ops Cold War I didn't really touch all like that. I just wanted to play the missions and keep going. But this one, I touched the this feature a lot. You know what I'm saying? With the walking around the house, the clues and everything, it's pretty slick.
There's some fun puzzles to figure out and light exploration. This game isn't afraid to slow down the pace, to let the action simmer, and build up the drama. The safe house is gorgeous, and it really makes you feel like you're on a secret mission in a foreign country in the middle of bumfuck nowhere. This is where we get to the good shit. Boys, check this out. You're gonna love this. Fuck her right in the pussy! It's here that we'll head to the Bill Clinton political event. The third mission, Most Wanted, is one of the most creative missions in any FPS single player. One that ditches action in favor of subterfuge, secrecy, spy.
That mission is cool, but also my favorite mission in Black Ops 6 campaign was the casino mission. That was like a James Bond type mission right there. Casino Royale, that was like a James Bond type mission. Do more missions like that. Make more missions like that.
Camera to take pictures, catch guards in 4K. You socialize, gather information, and I love these types of missions where the level really opens up. You need to get the retinal scan of Senator McKenna in order to get through the security system that's underneath the building to find Adler. You can find where he's hiding in a few different ways, including using the spy camera to eavesdrop on the senator's aide, stealing shit from his car, and then beating his ass.
What the hell are you doing in my car?
All the while hiding bodies of any guards you kill or knock out. It's really tense. What Black Ops 6 may lack in its storytelling, it more than makes up for in its gameplay opportunities. They got a dash of Splinter Cell, a cup of Rainbow Six, and no sexual gimmick overstays its welcome. So if you don't think too much about the plot, yeah, it's easy to get caught up in the moment and just enjoy it for what it is. Fuck it! Woo! Bill Clinton. Oh, yeah. So in a nutshell, Pantheon is a group of bad guys that have infiltrated the CIA, and they want to do some terrorism. Though it's implied that Pantheon is trying to give Saddam Hussein some kind of experimental weapon.
Alawi knew the Pantheon had a presence in Iraq. It's part of a technology exchange with Saddam Hussein.
This is a nice detail, as IRL, Saddam was looking into chemical weapons. He might have done a little oopsie-whoopsie with that. I mean, he didn't have weapons of mass destruction, but the rumor was, we thought he did, or at least that was a nice excuse, wasn't it? Gasoline, we don't have a lot of it in this country, okay? It's got to come from somewhere. Instead, this mysterious weapon is called the Cradle. Now, it's at this point when we talk to Adler that he reveals something very confusing. Livingston mentioned earlier that Adler was responsible for Woods being crippled in Panama. Adler elaborates further on this, saying there's a rumor that he was the one who compromised that Panama mission in Black Ops 2, and was therefore the one who got Hudson and Mason killed. Adler claims he was framed. And there's that element of Russell Adler that is so intriguing, the mystery of whether or not he really can be trusted.
You don't have to trust me, Marshall. But it might be best if you do for you and your team.
What happened last time, boys? What happened last time?
What happened, Bill? What happened? Did you know jet fuel isn't hot enough to burn steel beams? Regardless, this is a nice excuse to have a mission where we fight through Saddam Hussein's palace. And
that's another thing that people are asking. What happened to Bill? Did he get killed at the end of Black Ops Cold War? Did he get killed at the end of Black Ops Cold War? And a YouTuber went to one of Treyarch's conferences before the game came out, and they asked him and said, "Hey, is Bell coming back?" And yeah, she asked him and said, "Hey, is Bell coming back?" And then the Call of Duty developers who made the story, they said there will be returning characters. All right.
Hopefully take a dump in there. But before we do that, we have to, you guessed it, take out some missiles.
Track objectives. Fast travel. What the hell? What is this, fucking Fallout right now? What the?
Is this?
He said Fallout.
Non-linear mission? You mean I can drive around, explore at my leisure, and like, what, there's side quests on the map? It's crazy the amount of effort they put into each mission and creating so many things that they don't use anywhere else in the game. Why is this level so open and free? Kind of reminds me of those, what were they called?
We call them open combat missions.
This is how you do an open combat mission, said Raven Software as they pulled out
Yeah.
their 15-inch cock, waved it in front of Infinity Ward. Leave it to Raven Software to take a brilliant idea from last year's con and actually create it with the brilliance part. Might have taken a year, guys, but the pizza's finally here. I mean, I'm fighting through an underground bunker in Saddam Hussein's palace right now. And oh my God, we can actually take a dump here. It's here that Marshall Adler and Case end up finding the Cradle, or at least a sample of it that looks like the mutant injector from Zombies. It's just one of the many similarities the campaign has with Zombies. It's at this point where Black Ops 6 goes from traditional military campaign into batshit crazy mode. You guys have your acid tablets ready? Good. It's time to take them. It is a nice role reversal.
This dude is fried.
The bioweapon is American made, because we're always going into Russia in these games. But now, like most biological weapons, the Cradle was created in the state of Kentucky.
Adler believed the Pantheon gained access to a military research facility called Advanced Technologies and Applications.
Sounds impressive.
It's located in eastern Kentucky.
So Case and Marshall head in quietly. You end up getting separated from Marshall and enter Spook Town.
I saw that one move. I fucking saw that one move.
Yeah, I'm not crazy. I'm seeing them move.
Yeah, they do
They
move.
go full haunted house on you.
They do.
mask breaks
They
and
do.
starts breathing in the random toxic gas. Oh.
Oh my God.
The fuck is in that guy?
I can actually use clips from last year's Call of Duty.
Listen, that mission right there, they do go Luigi's Haunted Mansion on you. They really do.
The fuck is in that gas? What the fuck?
The fuck is in that guy?
So the writers used the whole hallucinogenic drug excuse so the developers can create the most insane combat scenarios. Statues that run towards you when you're not looking, straight out of BioShock. But like flying zombies.
Oh my God, it's Russell Adler again. I shot his fucking arm off.
There's even zombie types in the campaign that I don't think are in Black Ops 6 zombies.
We still got one more boss. I don't even feel like I'm playing a campaign right now.
This mission is one of the strangest. For starters, it's got clear Doom inspirations with 4 colored key cards you have to find. And then out of nowhere, you get a fucking grappling hook. While fighting a Margwa with a grappling hook is pretty fucking fun and exciting. This doesn't really tell me anything about Case, my character. But
Okay. So this mission, well, this entire campaign right here, I also want to add Call of Duty. This campaign is so unique. Like, can't Call of Duty Treyarch implemented different games into this campaign. Halo, BioShock, Rainbow Six, Doom. What's another one? Like, they implemented so many games, like a little taste of hints of previous successful games, and they just sprinkled it into each different mission. You get what I'm saying? And I was like, this mission reminds me of BioShock. This mission reminds me of Halo. This mission reminds me, that little thing that I'm using, it reminds me, though, it's a little bit of Rainbow Six. You know, like, this mission reminds me a little bit of, a Fallout. Like, okay. Like literally, they like put everything into one. And really, most of these games are Xbox games. Most of these games I said that I mentioned are Xbox games. And who bought Call of Duty not so long ago? Microsoft. Who does Microsoft Xbox, they bought Call of Duty. So it actually makes sense, So, hey.
This mission is jam-packed with surprises and moments reminiscent of other horror games and horror tropes. The ominous phone call that keeps ringing until you pick it up. But I think the problem I have with this mission, Emergence, it blurs the line between the grounded setting of the 90s and fucking COD zombies. Playing through Emergence was the first time Call of Duty genuinely scared me. But looking back, I struggled to understand what the point was, story-wise. It bears a lot of resemblance to the Frozen Forest sections in Black Ops 3. Both are incredibly unique visually, but they make you forget you're playing Call of Duty. Black Ops 1 really executed on the whole "you've been brainwashed" concept way better, because it successfully tricked Mason, and therefore the player, into realizing that they were hallucinating, that the memories we were reliving had actually been tampered with. This is what made the twist at the end so fucking impactful. All along the way, they're dropping these audio cues and visual effects. So it's revealed that one of your partners is the true mastermind behind Pantheon and all their recent attacks. And it's not Russell Adler, it's Jane Harrow. And for reasons I don't quite understand, the last mission turns into a deep dive psych evaluation on this character. She hadn't really felt all that pivotal to the plot, nor was she memorable enough for this twist to have some kind.
Yeah, she didn't really have that much of a big role in this game until they revealed that she's the main antagonist. And then I know he's going to talk about that last mission. He just talked about it a little bit, but I know he's going to go more in depth with that in that last mission, because that last mission was non-stop action. But a friend of mine said the campaign was really good all the way up to the last mission, and he freaking hated it. He said that last mission ruined it for him. So I want to hear this.
Kind of impact. I'm mixed on the story. On one hand, the presentation in the final mission, Separation Anxiety, it's a remarkable depiction of the mind. What it's like to confront internal trauma and what it takes to overcome that, to make the mirror whole again, restore each piece of who you are and be able to see yourself.
That's kind of gay, but hey.
This stuff isn't often explored in gaming. So while I think the presentation is top tier, it's bizarre how the story takes such a hard turn into becoming a character study when Jane wasn't being studied much in the first half. She does have some similarities to Menendez in her quest for vengeance, with motivations that are relatable and understandable, but that doesn't explain why the fuck she has an entire military backing her up.
But it's like they introduced a new
For
character
real.
and are trying to shove an entire season's worth of character development into the final episode. It's disappointing that Case isn't really important, I guess because we were exposed to the same virus as her. We're the ones who need to take out Jane? But then doesn't she also like overcome her trauma, so shouldn't we be homies now? I don't know. Then the game just kind of ends abruptly with Case and Harrow dying, I think. And the other guys meet up and are like, hey,
They didn't die.
oh, by the way, there's another mole, and it's this guy, whoever he is. Though Black Ops,
Yeah, like who is he?
creative campaign missions and level design in the series, the narrative supporting it is painfully disjointed, unable to focus on a single plot thread or a main character. And I don't know why after the first few missions Russell Adler took such a huge back seat. He was the best new character Call of Duty has had in forever. And it feels like the writers didn't know what to do with him. They did the whole Black Ops 3 Frozen Forest thing way better than that game, but it's immersion breaking for the exact same reasons. It's an awesome campaign to play through, but a mediocre story to reflect on. It's not often we get a Call of Duty game that has so few relative problems, but the issues I have with it stop it from being completely awesome. I really was expecting something more grounded, realistic, and historically based in a campaign. I wanted more Russell Adler. I bought the costume, guys. It's not a phase, Mom. It's not a phase. And while we did end up with one of the best single-player offerings in the Call of Duty franchise, its story was also pretty disappointing. I expected the best from Treyarch and Raven Software, especially after last year, but the multiplayer really fails to impress me or stand out from the crowd. Nothing I've seen from upcoming multiplayer content is getting me hyped to sink more hours into it, so for me, this has been a surprise year. I'll be sticking with zombies. The Black Ops 6 campaign intrigued me, but I never felt a payoff for its more subversive elements. It left me wanting more, and perhaps that's the point. But regardless, that is why Call of Duty Black Ops 6 is so awesome and mediocre. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to leave a like if you did and subscribe. Signing out. Peace.
Get over to the act, man. Tell them that Champagne Big Rose sent you. Post comments down below and let me know what you all think about this video. Please leave a like, subscribe, and share. And my book, The Prodigy 1, 2, and 3 is out on Amazon. Link description down below. And get over to the act, man. Tell them that Champagne Big Rose sent you. See you guys next time. Yep. Enjoyed it, Rudy? All right. God bless.